英格兰，一个多元化的国家。白天，人们尽情地沐浴着阳光，喝着啤酒，享受着生活。每当夜幕降临，黑暗中的英格兰分成了两个世界：寂静的街道和喧闹的酒吧。夜晚的英格兰更加的疯狂，失去了端庄与典雅。酒，酒，酒，还是酒。人们沉浸在酒的世界中，他们有不同的理由去享受酒精带来的愉悦。
British people,
Then we wouldn't do what we do.
we wouldn't do what we do.
Because they'd have more money to spend
No
and
disrespect
better
to
quality
either of
time.
you,
Yeah.
But they
Because
take
we
in
haven't
too
got
many
that
immigrants.
anymore, Yeah.
And they let them all come in
Right.
and they take over our jobs and our shops and everything.
So the only outlet we get is say it's like that. Fuck the government, we go for a drink.
What do you think about the drinking?
I think it's great. I think it should be encouraged.
Because I like drinking.
Like drinking?
I enjoy it.
It all depends on what mood I'm in, what the weather's like, or I mean, well, because you know, in the summer people will generally drink more like apple-based drinks that are more refreshing and have a lot of ice with it. If you're having a nice meal, I suppose I'd have a nice glass of red wine. Or sometimes I can go weeks and weeks without drinking. You know, sometimes I'll have like 3 days where it just so happens that in a social environment I'll be drinking. You know. But it's not necessary, it's not something that I need. But, you know, lagers were created to numb the masses, I suppose, just to get us used to working for a living for a low wage, and keeps us merry at the weekends, really, just to stop us.
How often do you drink?
7 days a week.
7 days a week, like every day?
Every day.
Friday and Saturday. Afternoons only.
Weekends, that's all.
Just weekends,
Just weekend?
once a week.
Once a week?
Yes.
Oh, we don't drink every day, no. Can't afford to. No.
Sometimes.
If I was Polish, I would be able to.
Why?
Because the whole of Shirley
Yeah.
has been taken over by Polish.
I don't think they should be allowed to drink in the streets.
Yeah.
I think our British society is broken down. We live in broken Britain.
Too much immigration?
Too much everything. Britain is a broken society. Law and order doesn't exist.
What do you think, like, weekend, lots of young people drinking, drunk, like, fighting and causing problems on streets, policing cars?
Yeah. It's because you get the stresses of their lives. They drink too much and then they think they can take on the world. And all this negative emotion that they can't deal with during the day, I suppose, in their lives, or maybe they've got problems at home. It creates like a negative. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and they vent that frustration, and also it's kind of almost required of young people to get drink. If they were so worried about what other people think that they haven't got their own minds. So as soon as you're of an age to drink, then you have to do it to excess.
I don't know if they can afford it. I can understand why they want to do it, but I can't see how they afford
Quite
it.
a lot of people drinking every weekend.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
And I remember the first time I got drunk, I was probably about 13 years old, and it was I was drinking cider, and it was like glug 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 glug. It's not. Yeah, big.
Like a long pipe?
Yeah, no. So, you know, cider made from apples. Yeah. So you're sort of drinking it, and you're like, that's not really doing anything. You know, no effect. And then you drink a bit more, and then just wham, you know, you're really drunk, you know. And then so it's not. Maybe it's a case of people not knowing their limits. But if they go to a bar in town, and there's like a deal on shots, so they'd line the shots up straight down the neck, and a lot of it is people just wanting to make money. From people that they've got more time in their hands, because maybe students as well. It's notorious with students, you know. 1 minute they're a calm, placid person and study hard, and then next minute they've had too much to drink and they're fighting in the street. You know, it's crazy, but it's a stage that people grow out of eventually, or you think they will. You know.
What about elderly people?
I don't think they take drugs, but they might drink.
No, it's nothing about drugs. It's only about drinking.
I think it's fine in moderation. Everything's fine, isn't it?
Like I talked to some people else, old people, and the reason they are drinking is because the government is paid low and didn't afford them jobs, and they got.
No, I don't think that's the case. There's another reason for that.
No,
I don't think it's because of that. It's because they're stuck indoors, perhaps. They're not mobile.
not everybody.
A lot of old people are. Yeah. They can't necessarily afford to meet their friends and go to the place they'd like to, so they drink indoors. They buy cheap beer, cheap alcohol from the supermarket, whatever, from the supermarket. It's just to put off boredom.
Me?
Yeah.
I enjoy meeting people. This is my local pub. So I come down here to read my newspaper, bit of peace, meet people that I know, say hello, and socialise.
Socialise?
Yeah.
So it's a kind of method to communicate with the other people?
If you like, yeah.
If I gave you £10,000, you'd probably do something worthwhile with it, maybe, depends. But if I give you £50, you might take your friend out for a drink. But because they've only got a limited amount of money, because they're students, then they're more likely to just spend it because it's only £50. So they'll spend it on drink. And as I say, you know, if they've got social pressures or they've got exams that are coming up, they're going to need some sort of release valve to let off the steam. So
Release from depression.
Yeah, and that's why unfortunately people do it in this country. And as I say, there's social pressures from friends. You know, you've got to be drinking loads and loads and loads, and we get a bad reputation on holiday, you know, in different countries. You know, yeah, definitely. But it's too readily available, and it's from a young age. There's pressure.
A lot of Europeans say, yeah, we drink too much, we do too much of this, yeah, we're assholes and all that, yeah. But if we had a better life and a better living condition over here, perhaps maybe people wouldn't drink so much, mate. Yeah.
People don't save anymore. They want it now. So then they'll get a loan and they'll just buy it, and they're like, oh, I can't really afford the payments. So everything's, you know, they want it now. There's no one's willing to save anymore. It's too accessible. Everything's too accessible, and you know, hang the consequences. You know, so.
酒给人们带来了欢乐，同时也给人们造成了困扰，像治安问题。像一部分年轻人喝完酒之后就没有钱去做别的消费，不管老少，不管什么原因去喝酒，酒只是一种调剂品。或许人们可以选择更加健康的生活方式。